Hello everyone, it's been a while. It's been a long time. So I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold, but that's beneath the point. So what I'm here to talk to you about today is characters. What we are. We are a character in a story. Now, as you can tell by the language I'm using, I've definitely been in a literature class or an English 1102 class, which I just came from. So I'm here to talk about, basically I'm here to talk about who you are and how you can relate to people and understand people, even if sometimes you don't even understand yourself sometimes. So this is how we do it. Oftentimes we tend to personalize a character. Not really personalize, but compare a character to ourselves. And when we analyze them, we look at what would I do in their shoes. I wouldn't do that. They must be the antagonist. Maybe I don't really like them very well. Or certain aspects, or a villain or antagonist, certain aspects of a character. But I tend to understand when you can put yourself not just in their shoes, but in their situation, in their perspective. You can analyze yourself and say that XYZ, maybe if I had been with a certain upbringing or been in a certain environment, I could have turned out like them. That can help you understand people a lot more. So I'm talking about characters, but I'm really talking about people. So in certain instances, we all have our faults, we all have our instincts, our failures, all these other combined situations, sinning, all this other thing. But I'm saying, in general, how we can relate to people is to understand that we all do have faults. That's the general basis of it. And then we have to go dive deeper. We have to say, what has the environment done? What has the people around them done, raising them? How have they brought themselves up? And this is how we can bring ourselves to a level of understanding and compassion. Because the reality is, in some instances, would you have been a Nazi if you had grown up in 1940s Nazi Germany or 1930s Nazi Germany or something like that? Because, I mean, in certain perspectives, you look at people growing up and you look at all these hate groups and you look at that. People aren't born with a distinction of love and hate. They are taught these things, sadly. You can't be taught certain aspects of love, but you can be taught how to love through a partner or how to love through all these other instances of life. So, perspective is everything. The upbringing, all that stuff is going to tell you who a person is. But don't just look what the exterior is. You have to look at the internal. So there could be an external conflict going on, a lot of things going on in their life. But the internal conflict of the man is the most important aspect. What is going on in their head, their body, and their soul. You know, all these other things. But if you understand that, I might be talking too deep for a second. But there are all conflicts going on in life that make things hard for somebody to actually function in certain instances. So if you look at all of that and compare your life to theirs, don't be so high and mighty in your life. Because in some instances, you would have done the same, made the same mistakes. So we're analyzing characters in this class, and we're talking about an anti-hero. I might be able to relate to that character because throughout the reading, I can only see, part of myself dripping onto the page. Not that I've done certain mistakes, but I'm saying that a certain character could have done something that I wouldn't agree with, that I would really hate that they've done. But sometimes that's us, that's us, and we have to be able to even forgive ourselves. And that's the most important part of even the forgive. Coming from a cold, but the ability to forgive yourself, because often we don't receive forgiveness because we can't forgive ourselves, and we don't understand why God would have created such an imperfect world where we would all have to sin and do all these evil things to each other. But the truth is, that's how we really find our true selves, once we understand amidst all the chaos who we really are. So if you can understand this very specific characterization, why God put you on this earth, I'm saying you must forgive other people, forgive yourself, everybody in your life. Because you need to take life in baby steps. You can't get the enormity of it all at once. Sometimes you live somebody else's life or do something that someone else tells you to do. But if you understand what you're called and purposed for, then it's over. So, you are a character living in your own story. That's what we got. You know, you need to understand and relate to everybody. You don't need to do it, but it's something that will give you so much clarity in life. It will make you understand the plight of man, why we do the things that we do, a man and woman. But I'm generalizing, but I'm saying humanity. But I'm saying that altogether, all of us, you know, somewhere, whether we have something messed up in our heads or whatever, we're all connected in some way. You know, there is just, I can't deny it. I can feel people's souls. We're all connected in some way. So, believe me this, there is definitely a grand design in all of it, and it will all make sense in due time. Okay, peace. Forgive everybody. That's the last thing. Forgive yourself as well. Okay? Say no more. I'll see you all later.